your host, Marsha Florence, for Just Ask. Today we have with us Grey's Anatomy, physical fitness training for the elderly. Hurry back and join us. Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today we have with us Grey's Anatomy, trainer in physical fitness, Jennifer Grey, and retired businessman Harvey Weisberg. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Harvey.
Hi.
Hello.
Glad to have you on the show.
Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Same
Now,
here.
Jennifer, this is our first kind of show to do something with physical fitness. And we'd like for you to tell us how you got started and how you come about, get in contact with your clients and everything that goes on in physical fitness for the elderly.
Okay, I've been a personal trainer for 7 years, and I started off working in a health club setting. And that's when I first met my client Harvey. He started working with me. And then eventually I started branching off and going more into homes and doing in-home training and working with people in country clubs. And I go to offices. I work with my clients because they're on their lunch break and they really can't get away from the office, so it's really convenient for me to meet them in their homes. And basically, it's an in-home training business that I have.
Okay.
So my clients that I work with in the homes, they have equipment that they buy through a company called American Exercise. It's mainly where I send them to go, or I go with them. And we pick out equipment for them depending on what their budget is and what they want to accomplish.
Okay.
So you can pretty much do everything in your home that you can do in the gym, unless you're you're training for body composition or body competition.
So you basically go wherever your client is.
Right.
Okay, so if they have a lunch hour at work, can you go there and train with them for a lunch hour at work, or?
Right. I travel to the homes and I travel to the country clubs.
Okay.
So-
Is there an age criteria that you work with?
I'd have to say that about 50% of my clients are 50 plus.
Okay.
So I work with a lot of older people, and I get most of my clients from physicians and physical therapists, and they refer the client to me, and I do post-therapy with them. So I work very closely with the doctor to make sure that we're we're not doing anything that's going to
Strenuous or
be
anything?
strenuous for the client.
Okay, so this is a full-time job for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so like you're up at 5 in the morning?
Yes, up at 5 in the morning and finishing at like 9 o'clock at night.
Okay,
So-
okay. What kind of exercises do you recommend mainly for your seniors?
For seniors, well, you really should, cardiovascular fitness is the most important component of fitness. So you really should be doing that, seniors should be doing that 2 to 3 times a week. When you're starting out, for a beginner, they should only start off with like 15 minutes at a time and working about 55 to 60% of their maximum heart rate. So that's really on a moderate pace. And they want to increase their duration before they increase their intensity. So they want to work up to doing about 30 minutes.
So basically, is there a warm-up? Is the 15 minutes, can that be used as a warm-up?
Yes,
or?
it can be used in a warm-up, but you want to stay in your training range for at least 20 minutes once you get, like some people don't want to do more than 30-minute workout because they don't have the time. So at least 20 minutes in your training range. So your warm-up would be about 8 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes.
Okay.
And then
Now, let me ask you this. When you approach your clients as you get to know them or before they actually warm up to you, are they mostly adamant about doing exercise? Or, well, I should ask Harvey that. So, Harvey, can you answer those questions for me? You look well, and if you don't mind, could you tell us what your age is?
74.
74.
doesn't look it.
Okay, so, Harvey, when you first started, how did you feel about it, or, what did you do?
Well, I was very excited about it because I'd always felt that keeping your body in shape helps you keep your mind in shape, and for being in business, I thought it was important to keep my mind operating effectively. And I looked forward to using a trainer because I thought I could learn something more about how to use the physical equipment that's available in gyms, as I started out in a gym, and then when they brought that equipment to the country club, I continue using it there, and I travel with my wife. So we find a lot more of that available in the hotels that we stay in when we're traveling.
Okay. Okay. So do you find it very beneficial for you to use a trainer, to have the use of a trainer?
I do, because I feel that if you're going to do both cardiovascular development and as well try and get the physical training that you want,
Through the weight training.
the weight training through the use of the equipment properly, and doing both of these, the trainer is able to at least advise you how to use this safely and still beneficially. So I feel I've benefited a great deal from using the trainer, and I use her 3 times a week.
3 times a week? And
So-
for how
Very
long?
disciplined.
How long?
I have an hour session with her,
Okay.
and then I usually work an hour afterwards with some of the equipment, between the treadmill and the other equipment.
He's a
Okay.
guru.
Okay. Okay. What about the far as like your weight, maintaining your weight aware? How's your diet? Do you actually diet or anything, Harvey?
I like sweets, and so I know I'm going to eat some of those, and I do watch what I eat, but I eat
He
what
goes
I
on a lot of
like.
cruises.
Okay.
And I travel, as I said, so you do partying and that type of thing. But I do find that by keeping a regimen of the treadmill, I might work 2 to 5 miles at a time, and
Okay.
spend. So I'm more advanced than what Jennifer was saying for a beginner, and I can read or watch TV when I'm using the
Right.
treadmill, and I use all kinds of this weight training equipment that she showed me how to use, stretching equipment as well.
Okay. Okay. That's really good. So you find yourself more active now with having the physical trainer than before, or?
I don't think I'm more active, but I'm able to maintain the level of activity that I had during many of the years, you know, the 50s and
Okay.
60s as well. But we like to dance, my wife and I, and we like playing tennis, golf.
Okay.
So these exercises, you can injure yourself or strain
Right.
yourself if you don't have the flexibility. And some of the things that we've been doing together have made me, I think, a lot more flexible.
Okay. Now, Jennifer, does weight training help manage your more or less? Is it helpful as far as
For weight
like-
loss?
Right, weight loss.
Yes, it is. The more lean muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is, because it takes energy to sustain that muscle.
Okay.
And with fat, it doesn't take any energy to sustain it. So yes, the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism will be, and the more your body will be a fat-burning machine, basically. It's if you just do cardiovascular fitness, you'll actually lose lean muscle. So you need to do both, a combination of the both.
Okay. Okay. But does the average person know that they're losing muscle if they don't do one?
Actually, no, they don't. As they get older, they don't realize that they're losing lean muscle. They just realize that their clothes are starting to fit them differently, and their weight basically stays the same. But what's happening is the fat is being replaced. I mean, the muscle is being replaced with fat.
So because I went up another size, that means that was fat.
Well, sometimes
Okay.
you also gain more, a little extra.
Hope not. Okay. Let me ask you this. In one instance, when you're going through the weight training, is it bad if a person stops and starts? Is that a problem if a person stops and starts?
That can lead to injury because once it's called progressive weight training, and you want to keep progressing. And what people tend to do is they pick up where they left off, and then the next day it's like, oh my gosh, what happened to me? You know, it's like a truck hit you. You can't walk down the stairs, and you know
Right.
it hurts just to move your arms or put your shirt on.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it ever too late to start weight training?
Oh, it never is too late. My oldest client that I've ever worked with is 85 years old, and for every age group, they're trying to accomplish different things. People that are in their 30 to 40, they just want to sustain what they have, and they want to be able to do activities on the weekends, you know, play baseball, play with their kids. People that are in their 40s, 40 to 45, that's when you start to lose lean muscle. You lose 1/3 of a pound of muscle a year after the age of 40. And once you hit 50, that's when women start to go into menopause, and that's when it starts to accelerate. The loss starts to accelerate. And so it's really important at that point to start weight training. And then 60s, 70s, and 80s, that's when the elderly, they really want to be as independent as they can. They don't want to have to rely on anyone, and they want to have that energy and feel that vitality. They want to have
Okay.
that energy and strength.
Okay, so at any age, it's best to get started.
Right, but
And-
it's you want to progress into it slowly.
Okay.
You don't want to start off at,
Right.
doing
right.
too much, too high
Okay, so
intensity.
walking is a good exercise as well as any other devices you may have in your home.
Right.
Okay, so a daily walk helps just as good.
What is recommended is 3 days a week of cardiovascular fitness, which would be aerobic fitness, which is walking, swimming, low impact aerobics. And seniors want to start off, if you have never worked out, 40% of your maximum heart rate, all the way up to 65%. That's the highest you really want to go, unless you're like Harvey, who's in great shape. You can go a little higher, go up to 75% of your maximum heart rate. But that's for the cardiovascular fitness. As far as your weight training goes, you can get the benefit from doing 2 days a week for 45 minutes, non-consecutive days, and working on the weight equipment for 45 minutes,
Okay.
and at doing about 2 sets, 1 to 2 sets of 12 to 15 reps to start, and work up to 3 sets, and for 1 exercise for each muscle group. And they've found in studies that women that do that increase their bone density, increase their muscle mass, and their balance much more than women that are not exercising or using the
Okay.
weights.
Well, I'm going to have to keep that in mind.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, Jennifer and Harvey, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we want to go over these devices here that you have on the table and show our audience what you both can do. Be right back.
The ladies and I used to sit around and play cards, knit, and watch the soaps. We made quite a team. Then one day, Helen heard about strength training. She got a free fact sheet just by calling 1-800-222-2225. We found lifting weights builds muscles and bones. It improves our balance, too. So now when we get together, we exercise.
It really gives us a lift. Give yourself a lift. Call for a free fact sheet.
Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence with Just Ask, and thank you for joining us on our second half of the show. For those of you who are just joining us, we have Grey's Anatomy, physical fitness training for the elderly. We're going to have Jennifer and Harvey show us some routines here. So go ahead, do what you do, and let us know what it's called, everything that you're doing.
First of all, I want to show you some of the equipment that we have. Okay. Right here we have a mat, and this is a very inexpensive mat. You get this at American Exercise or any home equipment store. For someone who needs a little bit more back support, there are some more expensive mats, but this is good because you can travel with it if you're going on vacation or if you're going to need it at the office. Then we also have some weights here. These are some 1-pound weights and 5.
Okay.
For most of the seniors, you don't really need anything more than like 5 pounds.
Okay.
Some can go up to 8s, but like 1 to 5 is good.
So a 1-pound weight does what?
1 pound weight. Well, these are the handheld ones. See that
Okay.
on here?
I see a lot of seniors walking with those now. So is that what that's mainly for?
You can walk with them, but
Okay.
it's just to feel more comfortable because you're gripping onto them, and
Okay.
it just makes you feel a little bit more comfortable so you don't drop the weight on your
I thought it
foot.
was a safety measure for the streets. Okay. Boom. Okay, this is nice.
People do
Okay.
use them to walk with
Okay.
also.
Okay, so this is 1 pound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this here is...
That's a 5-pounder. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what would you suggest or recommend with the 5 pound?
Well, actually, we're going to show you a whole routine.
Okay.
Okay, full body routine with these. Okay, and then behind us we have what's called the spree band. Some people feel a little bit more comfortable using the spree bands because they're not as there's no strain on the joint, and it's easy to to carry with you, and they don't worry about dropping it on their foot or something.
Okay.
And this, what you do is you just step on it. You can do a lot of different exercises.
Oh, wow.
Bicep curls.
And that's a free band?
It's called the spree band.
Spree band,
Mhm.
okay, spree
Upright
band.
rows.
I need that.
And they have
Okay.
these in all different tensions. This is a medium tension. There's one that comes in yellow, and then also above this is in red.
Okay, so the colors indicate what pressures that they
Right.
can take? Okay.
Intensity.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have what's called the Dynaband, and these are used in physical therapy to strengthen like the rotator cuffs if you have rotator cuff injuries. Again, any shoulder exercises. You can also use it for leg strengthening. You do anterior delts.
You actually can feel that right up under the arm.
And we're going to show you. He's
Okay.
going to do some internal, external rotator
Okay.
cuff.
What are these big, beautiful blue balls for?
Okay, these are called fit balls. And they come in different sizes, and you can use them for squats. You can use them on the wall, which we can't demonstrate in here, but you can do wall squats. You can do squats. We're going to demonstrate a squat where you're sitting and you stand up and
Okay.
sit down. And then we also have the smaller balls. You can use it for abdominal exercises, for glute exercises. I'm going to show you a couple exercises you can
Now,
do.
all the equipment that you showed us, you can get it from a gym. Well, not a gym, a sports authority or some type of...
Like Better Back Store
Athlete.
carries the balls.
Okay.
The Spree bands, you can get those from like American Exercise. They carry
Okay.
those.
Okay.
The Dynabands.
What about the red?
The Dynabands you can get from like, what is that store called?
Drugstore?
The drugstore. The
Capital
really?
Capital Drug has them.
Okay, I'm looking at it like, that's a piece of rubber band. Can I just make that by
Yeah, you can get them at like physical therapy
Okay.
stores. Like the Better Back Store, I think also carries them.
All right.
So.
Okay. Well, hey.
Okay, well, we're going to show you. What we're going to do is we're going to start with a warm-up. And we're just going to warm up. Normally, a warm-up should be about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay? And you want to get the body going. You want to get the blood pumping. And then we do some stretches. Okay? Little heel digs. Heels. Those arms moving. You want to just keep that blood flowing the whole time. Okay? We're going to keep it shorter today.
Okay.
And we just go into some rhythmic stretching, side to side lunges. You want to make sure your knee and your toe go in the same direction.
Okay. Now, Harvey, is this your normal routine? in the morning?
Part of the warm-up.
Okay.
Okay. Now just hold your stretch. Hold it. This is a static stretch. And right now we're stretching out the groin muscles and the
Okay.
abductors. And turn profile. Now we're stretching out the calf. And just hold, lean forward. And then bring it back, hamstring stretch. Again, you want to keep moving, getting that blood circulating. Put your hand on your quad, on your supporting leg, and just hold that stretch. You want to feel the stretch all the way down the back of your leg.
Okay.
This is a real good stretch for your hamstrings. You always want to keep your stomach in, protect your back. You don't want to arch your back too much.
Okay.
For seniors with back problems, they may want to do this one seated.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting on the ball.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you about
Yeah.
that. 'Cause
Mhm.
some seniors don't want to just be.
Yeah, they don't want to be
up-
standing.
on a long
Mhm.
time.
Okay, and then the other side. And then turn profile.
So actually, that's in the back. That helps the back and the lower leg.
This is all
So-
stretching. This is stretching the lower leg, the
Okay.
calf.
Okay.
Okay, and the inner thighs.
Okay.
And right now, this is the hamstring stretch. And again, you can do this one seated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we come up. Come to the center. We do a back stretch. You can flatten the back up and round it up, and flatten it out.
Okay. You can feel that in the back.
Yep, and it stretches out your back.
All
Okay,
right.
now we're going to do a few arm stretches. Putting your hands in front of you. You're going to go straight back. And you only hold it for 3 seconds. It's called active isolation stretching.
Mhm.
Just hold it, breathe out, and then come forward. Hold it for 3 seconds. You do 10 reps.
Okay.
Each one, breathe. Okay, that's for the
How you
chest.
doing, Harvey?
Fine.
He's breathing. You got to keep breathing. You never want to hold your breath on
Okay.
stretching. Okay. And let's do a shoulder stretch. Straight back. Thumbs up. Get those arms all stretched
And this
out.
is all in the warm-up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Get the blood circulating.
Yep. So you don't injure yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think if I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I like a warm-up.
Yes, definitely. Okay. That's just a couple stretches. We're going to go into the exercises. Harvey, we're going to grab the thighs.
Okay, so the
This
lower
is called a
part.
lateral raise. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to stand with your feet about shoulder length apart. Slightly bend those arms. You're going to go one arm at a time. You lift the right arm up. You want to hold it 1,000 count and then back down. This is slow. Okay. I'm hard to do one arm and then bring it down. And then you want to bring the arm up, then bring the arm all the way down, and the other arm goes up, all the way down there. Because you don't want to swing your torso. You want to keep the stomach in real tight.
Okay.
And you can also sit down when you do this one. You can have
Okay.
back support.
Mhm.
Okay. If seniors feel more comfortable that way. Okay. You want to do about 10 to 12 reps on this one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, and this one's for the shoulders. It's working right here.
Right. Okay.
Shoulders. Okay. Good job, Harvey. Next, we're going to use a fit ball.
All
We're gonna do some
right.
squats. And if you're doing this exercise, you want to make sure someone's holding the ball for you.
Okay.
You're going to sit on the ball. He's going to put his hands in front of him.
Wow.
And stand
Okay.
up. You can, and if you want for seniors, they can come up just halfway and then back down. This will just help since they can get out of chairs and move around. And
What's
get
the weight element that ball can hold?
Oh, this ball can hold like 300 pounds.
300 pounds. I'm in luck. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Okay, put your hands a little lower, Harvey. Stand up. And you
Well, I forgot Harvey is advanced, so
Yeah.
he's going to show it all to us. Okay, Harvey.
You always want to make sure you keep breathing on this one. Don't lock the knees out. Keep it nice and smooth. Breathe out.
And how many reps of that?
Again, about 12.
Okay.
12 reps.
Now, if a person really can't afford the ball, can they do that from a chair?
Yeah, you can.
Will it be the same effect?
Yeah, definitely. But this is just a little bit more comfortable. A little bit more give.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next.
That look like fun.
We're going to show
Yes.
you the rotator cuff strengthener. Harvey, you're going to put this in your hand. Palms down. Keep your elbow close to your side. And he's going to pull it across his body. Now this is working the internal rotators of the shoulder right in here. Okay? This is
Okay.
prevent rotator cuff injuries. Okay? It's a therapy exercise if someone's injured the rotator cuff or if you just want to do it for prevention.
Now, what about a stroke patient? Could they use that?
Yes.
Okay. Help build up some of the muscle back or?
It's a real good one. It's a real gentle exercise.
Okay. Where do you feel that at, Harvey? Where do you mostly feel that at?
You're getting it in.
Right in the shoulder. Right here.
Okay.
Okay, then the other
It's like it's
side.
building the muscle up.
Just hold on to that. Keep your elbow in.
You're going both, first one direction and then the other. I just
Okay.
pressing it.
Yeah, we don't want to cheat. Okay.
Back up a little with
And you
that.
bring it out. Oh, too much tension. There we go. This is working the external
So one
rotators.
way is in.
Yeah, and you
Right.
could tie this to a door handle.
Okay.
Okay, and you could do it. They could do it on their own,
Keep the
or if
door
they have
closed,
someone to hang on to it, and
Okay.
that works the shoulder.
So in case you're home alone or whatever, and you say, I think I want to exercise today.
Yeah, you could just use the door handle.
Watching
All
the
right.
TV.
Okay. Yeah. Doing my thing. Okay.
Okay. Next, this is an exercise that works the traps. It's called the shrug. Harvey's going to demonstrate it. You're going to bring those shoulder blades all the way up to the ears and then back down. Keep those arms straight. And back down slowly. There we go. Breathing
Is
out.
that like
This helps for posture.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, always keep the stomach in. You always want to keep your knees bent and keep a wide base support. Keep your feet about shoulder length apart. when you're doing
Okay.
these
I like this part.
exercises.
Keep the stomach in.
Yep, tummy
Okay.
tight.
Keep the stomach in.
Okay, next he's going to show you a calf raise. It works the back of the legs right here. Holding onto the weights, he's going to go up on his toes and back down slowly. All the way up and then back down. Right, straight up.
Okay. Now, are shoes important?
Yeah, shoes are, you want to have a nice supportive shoe. You
Okay.
want like a cross-training shoe.
Okay. Notice Harvey had on good shoes.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
got good walking shoes on.
All right.
Straight up.
Now, Jennifer, is it good? Can you train a group, like 5 or 6 people at the same time, and the good group and do the entire routine, or is one-on-one more?
I do work with groups. I work with husband wives and I,
Okay.
I also work with groups.
Okay.
But it is the one-on-one attention is nice because you can really help someone and see, sometimes with a whole group of people. I teach aerobics and it's hard because you can't go around each person
Right.
when they're doing things wrong.
Because I would cheat. Okay.
Okay, we're going to show a few lower for some ab exercises. Okay, Harvey, why don't you lie down on your back?
Harvey's a good sport here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Okay, this is going to go into your legs. Okay, you could use a chair if you want to. You
Okay,
don't have to use the
okay.
ball. And you're just going to cross your arms. Keep your chin about fist distance away from your sternum. Okay? And I'm going to support his head, and you're just going to lift up and back down. You want to come up about 20 to 30 degrees, okay? No higher. You don't need to do a full sit-up to work the abdominals.
All right. That's abdominal.
Uh-huh.
What I need. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's the short version of the crunch.
Yep.
All
Okay, now we're
right.
going to show you a
Okay.
back exercise with a smaller ball. And you're going to lie on your stomach on the ball. And this is a strengthen the lower back.
Okay.
It also works on balance. You're going to lie right on the ball. Opposite arm, opposite leg. You lift up, keep your head down. And lift it up and hold, and then back down slowly. He's working his lower back.
All
It's
right.
safe because it doesn't put too much pressure on the lower back.
Okay.
So there's lots of fun things you can do with this ball.
I
And I'm just showing you a
see.
few.
Okay.
Okay.
And Harvey's such a great sport.
He
here.
is.
Okay. Like he's
Okay.
going swimming. Which way am I going? Okay.
All right, thank you, Harvey. And
Okay.
show you one more with the
All right.
spray band. This is where you're going to step on the band. Okay, Harvey. And he's going to demonstrate a bicep curl. You keep your elbows back, your wrist straight, go all the way down and up. Nice control. You don't want to swing. Keep
Okay.
nice control.
Oh, Harvey's pretty strong there.
Yeah. And these bands are tougher than they look.
You're
They
right.
really
I
are.
could tell.
They're not easy.
Okay.
You get a good workout. Good.
Okay, so the required time for a workout in our senior program here would be what? An hour, half an hour?
About 45 minutes is what you want to work up to. I mean, obviously they're not going to be able to start off doing that much. Probably like 20 minutes,
Okay.
20 to 30 minutes.
Okay, and 3 times a week or
Twice a week.
twice a week for
Mhm.
starters?
Mhm.
Okay, until they get as advanced as Harvey. And
Yeah.
Harvey, how many hours are you up to now? Harvey, are you into 45 minutes or a little more?
I spent an hour with her and then an hour
Okay.
on my own. After
Okay, and how many days a week?
3.
Okay, okay.
He's
Well,
tough.
I'm glad we had a chance to see Harvey work out, and I'm definitely glad we had a chance to meet both of you at the same time. What we want to do is close our show with some of the routines. I think I'll try some of those things.
Okay.
Jennifer, appreciate you coming. Harvey, it was nice meeting you.
Same here.
This program will be well deserved. A lot of our seniors say, I would like to try that. Okay.
Oh, enjoy it.
All right. So what we'll do is, if anyone would like to get in contact with Jennifer, please watch the credits at the end of the show. If you need to, you can call us, area code 248-988-0250. We can get you in touch with any of our guests that you have seen in the past or the present. If you have any topics you'd like for us to talk about or, hey, air for you, give us a call or write to our P.O. Box number 19694, Old Redford, Michigan, and that's Just Ask Talk Show. Once again, as I always say, if you know someone with a disability, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host, Marsha Florence. Thank you.